Hey guys, and welcome back to Cubing with Colin. Today we have an unboxing from Speedcube Shop of a few cubes. And I just want to remind you guys, if you enjoy these unboxings and you use my code Colin at discount for a free 5% off, this will bring more unboxings to the channel as they'll be willing to send me more products. Let's get into it. Here we go. Are you kidding me? Okay, so here we have the Guhong V4, which is the follow-up of the Guhong V3, which was a 54mm cube, which was okay, but it's a good cube for one-handed, but not that good if you're using two-handed. So we have Guhong V4, and then the YJ Mini series. So this is a 3x3. Well, this is different. This is the Guhong V4, or however you pronounce it. It's the 2x2 that's adjustable. I just got it because it was cool, and it's on sale for only $8 right now at Speedcube Shop. So here's the mini 4x4, and I've heard really good things about this. I have kind of small hands, so this could be nice. And then the last thing in here is a mini 5x5. I think I got a couple logo stickers as well. There's that. Alright, so we'll start with the Guhong. I've heard that this is like a cheaper GAN 11M Pro, which I would compare it to, but I just sent it into Speedcube Shop a couple days ago to get PVC coated, which I'll do a future video on. If you don't know what PVC coating is, I'll just talk about it briefly. So GAN cubes now come with frosted plastic, as you can see here, and it's not very good for grip. So you can get it PVC coated, which will give it a slightly stickier feel to help you with grip. This is my GAN XS. It hasn't been PVC coated, but I broke it in so much that it's a little bit shinier, has a little bit of better grip. But I really like the GAN 11M Pro, so I'd like to have better grip on it as well. So I'll compare it to the GAN XS. I get the feeling you were not supposed to open it this way. What on earth? Oh, it's taped. Okay, there we go. Now the tape's on. Okay, here we go. Here's the cube. It actually looks a lot like the Guhong V3. Sticker shades are similar. The green and red are a little different. I think the blue's about the same and the yellow's similar. So it has like the same kind of structure. Here, I'll open it so you guys can see it better. Maybe. Okay. So there it is. So you can kind of see how it has a similar piece structure compared to the Guhong V3. But we'll get into some first turns. But before we do that, we'll look at the tensions box that it comes with. So a bag, a screwdriver, and a pamphlet. That's cool. So I do also want to mention that if you're interested in the MS Cube, I will be getting that from Speedcube Shop soon, so be sure to stay tuned. But this is covered in lube, so let's wipe that off real quick. So we're back. Before I get into any first turns, this is frosted plastic, which kind of stinks, but we'll get into it. Okay, so this is very dry out of the box, as you might be able to hear. You can just hear how it needs some lube. So I'll be sure to add in some Weight 5 and probably some Martian and some Lunar or something like that. So it's a little slow as well, but I can really see some potential with this cube, and a lot of people are maining it. So let me put some lube in and I'll get back to you. Alright, so now I'm back after lubing this, and my whole thought of this cube has changed. At first I thought it was going to be okay, but after lubing it, I'm going to have to agree with some of the other cubers. It is pretty much just a cheaper, high-quality GAN cube. So you are losing a few things, like there's no magnet tensioning, and I think it is slightly less quality, but it gives a very similar feeling of my GAN cubes, which I really like. So I'm going to have to recommend this cube to any somewhat newer cubers. I would say it's a little bit better than the RS3M 2020, but not that much. So now I'll open the Zinghen. You can skip a little bit ahead because I know this is old news. These mini 3x3s though, and the 4x4 and 5x5, I would recommend you stay to watch because I've heard some really good things, so I think you guys should hear about it. but we'll get into the Zinghen here. I could be pronouncing this very incorrectly. And I have no idea how to open it. Oh, there we go. Okay, is this box just gonna... Okay, here we go. I think it's coming up. Okay, here we go. So it comes with a couple cards. Not sure what this is. Comes with a... I don't know. Oh, what the heck? I'm not really sure what this is. It's a torpedo, we'll say that. And then the cube and a screwdriver. I have plenty of MoU screwdrivers by this point. Okay, so here's the cube. I'm not really expecting it to be that good because, I mean, after all, it's a cube that changes size. I think that this thing has something to do with the size. But we'll get into some first turns. Alright, so this is okay, I guess. I don't do much 2x2, and I probably wouldn't have gotten it, but I still think it's pretty cool how it can change size. I have no idea how to make it change size, though, so... Okay, that's pretty cool. It's okay, but, I mean, since it's only $7 right now at SpeedCube Shop, less when using code Colin, it's not a bad deal. Normally it's about $15, which I probably wouldn't recommend it unless you're getting it solely because it can change size. Alright, here we are with the Mini Magnetic series. I have high hopes for this, especially the 3x3 and 4x4. I have not heard that much about the 5x5. So for the 3x3, let's go, come on. Okay, here we go. Get rid of the plastic wrap. Why are cube boxes getting harder and harder to find how to open? There we go. That wasn't that bad. So this cube is very small. I'm pretty sure it's a 50mm cube. And supposedly it's really impressive for how well it performs with its size, because the smaller the cube gets on 3x3 and most cubes in general, the harder it is to manufacture. But it does feel really small in my hands. So let's compare it to the size of a GAN XS. So yeah, that looks a bit smaller. So here, let's get into first turns. Okay, this is really good. Really good for one-handed too. This might become my one-handed main because once again, I have pretty small hands. So this cube is really good for its size. It would be okay if you're going to compare it to other 3x3s. I actually would be kind of interested if they had made this cube but in a bigger size, because obviously they would be able to make it better. But this is pretty good. Let's do a quick solve on it. Just do a hand scramble. Alright, here we go. I'm looking through the camera for this, so this might be bad. Oh boy. So this cube is really good. It's got some lube on the outside, which we'll have to deal with, and I think it could be lubed a little bit better. It feels a little dry, but I do like how it came out of the box. Now on to the 4x4. This one is supposed to be really good. So my current main is the MGC 4x4. It is, in my opinion, better than the Aosu WRM, but I know a lot of people think differently. So we'll just have to see how this comes out. It's obviously going to be a lot smaller. How do you open this? Is this different? No, I think it's the same thing. Okay, so similar stuff. It's got that same customization box, which I'm not really that interested in. Onto the cube, here we go. Okay, so it is pretty heavy for its size, just holding it here. But let's get into the first turns. Okay, wow. So I like this more than the Aosu, but I don't know if I like it more than the MGC. I'd have to set it up to see. But this is certainly really impressive for a 4x4. Especially when it's mini. Let's do a parody. That was really smooth until the end. Wow. Oh. Okay, so one bummer with this is these slices do get caught here and there. Oh boy. So I'll have to learn how to get around that, but I really do like this. Let's get on to the 5x5. Here we go. So one thing I forgot to mention with the 4x4 is I believe it is 56 millimeters, so it should be the same as this GameCube. Yes, it is, I think. So it's the size of an average 3x3, which is pretty interesting. That's pretty small for a 4x4. I am having such a hard time opening these boxes, and I have no idea why. Okay, so should open from here. I don't really care about these boxes because they're not super fancy. Same thing inside, tension system. This cube, I don't know how big it is compared to your average 3x3. Let's take a look. It's a little bit bigger than a normal 3x3, but it feels pretty nice in my hands getting some first turns. Okay, so out of the box, this feels a little worse than the other two ones. I think it just gets harder to make these tiny cubes as you get bigger and bigger in the end by ends, but this is still a pretty good 5x5. It feels the driest out of each of the mini cubes, so with lube in it, it would be pretty decent. But yeah, this is a pretty impressive lineup here. Each, the 3x3, the 4x4, which is not solved right now, and the 5x5. I would recommend all of these, especially if you have small hands, but if you're looking for a cheap, good cube, these two are definitely good options. And this one comes into play if you have smaller hands, but the MGC 5x5 is a really good 5x5, so, and I think it's about the same price, so that would rule this one out unless you have really small hands. But if you have medium-sized hands or small hands, this one's great for OH. So that's all I have for today. As always, thanks for watching, and see you next time in Keeping with Colin.